Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now, this reading is going to focus on increasing our intuitive abilities. If this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Scorpio. September 1st to the 15th, 2021, Scorpio. Increasing intuitive abilities. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Hierophant shining through, which is Taurus energy. If we have Taurus within our natal chart, that's coming through very powerfully at our root. And then we have Judgment, arising out of convention, out of others' expectations, or even our own expectations for ourselves. We have the Four of Cups, a gift coming in, the Four of Wands, well, the Four of Water, there we go, the Four of Cups, a gift coming in that isn't expected. And we have the Three of Air, rising out of hurts and pains and disappointments to really embrace something new, something more than we had expected. And it starts to lead us to a gift that is going to be a little bit hard for us to see at times. We have the Lovers coming into play. This is Gemini energy. If we have this within our natal chart, that's going to come through very powerfully within our heart. There's just going to be a duality of the heart. It's like nothing is going to be one way or another, and we have to really embrace that about ourselves. Then we have the Five of Cups. And with the Five of Cups, it's change your mind and change your life. Change what you're looking at and you will change what you're getting, which sounds so simple to do, but it's so much harder. And then we have the Six of Wands, celebration, success, and bounty, led to temperance. Now, if we're born on the cusp with Sagittarius energy, this is coming through very powerfully within our public arena, or if we have Sagittarius energy within our natal chart, there's a sense of balance. And as we find our balance, as we find our understanding, we start to celebrate ourselves more and more and more. Because it's not the expectations of others. It's the reality of our own world. Now, let's see what our energy that we have to be mindful of is. What is the energy that Scorpio needs to be mindful of? Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Now, this is the High Priest, which is the Druidcraft deck's way of saying the Hierophant. And so we have to be mindful of the energy at our root that's blessing us. We have to be mindful of falling too deeply into traditions, into a rigidity that isn't going to suit us during this time. We have to embrace this kind of bigger expanse, this bigger understanding of who we are and where we want to be and how we're moving forward and what it is that we desire from ourselves. So as we are embracing our intuitive path forward, there is going to be a sense of looking at what's traditionally right for us, but also stepping out of that comfort zone. We're also going to be very, very drawn to people who say, I have the answers, or to ideologies or belief systems, or people who, who have it all laid out, have it all figured out. Again, people who have the answers, things that have the answers, places that have the answers. This is going to be a time of a lot of questions. And we need to ask ourselves, what is intrinsically true for me? What is the part of me that I cannot walk away from without feeling as if I've betrayed a huge part of or a powerful part of myself? It leads us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Meditation. That's going to be really, really helpful for us, Scorpio, to be able to meditate, to be able to step back and say, I'm connecting with my heart and what I desire and what I need and who I am. Meditation comes into play here. The crown chakra comes into play. What am I crowning myself with? And how is that crowning? How are those ideas? How is that way of thinking affecting my heart, affecting myself? We need the quiet moments, whether those quiet moments be sitting in meditation or those quiet moments are going out for a walk. We have to do something instead of mindlessly scrolling through our phone, avoiding what it is that we should be looking at. And I know I'm definitely guilty of that. So I was like, ooh, thank you, Spirit. And, I have my Scorpios in my creativity, and I forget where that is within my natal chart. But it's going to be that connection. It's going to be the connection to the creativity that's really coming forward when we stop, when we quiet ourselves. So that's really interesting. We have here Hierophant. So the Hierophant is our traditions. It's what's important to us. It's how we kind of judge ourselves or see ourselves or understand ourselves. With the Hierophant, we are embracing powers and purpose and determination forward. This is a part of us that we cannot ignore. And if we do ignore it, we're going to regret it because it's the root of us during this time, but it's the root of us to be able to move forward, to be able to achieve, to be able to succeed the way that we want to. And it's saying here, stay true. Stay true to your deeper wisdom. Stay true to what you desire within yourself. Stay true to the person that you are, the person that you were bullied for being, the person that people mocked you for being, that others didn't understand. And it leads us to judgment. It leads us to saying, I need a light heart, meaning I need my heart to weigh less than the feather. Because that's how Anubis judged those who had passed and let them into paradise. Was your heart lighter than a feather? And so during this time, when we're meditating, we're connecting with our emotional self. It's saying, what is weighing down my heart and why? Is this something I can fix? Is this something I need to acknowledge? Is this something I can understand? And how do I move towards the person that I need to be? It moves us to the Three of Swords. Or how do I free myself? Because the Three of Air, the Three of Swords. Now, air talks about the breath. It talks about the breath and the mind and the being. And what we have here is a focusing on our breath, a focusing on what keeps us from breathing in deeply and assuredly and confidently within ourselves. The doubts and the fears that we have that hold us back, cage us back, make us doubt our progression forward. The Three of Swords is looking at that pain and that hurt and that disappointment and saying, I see you, openly and honestly, powerfully and personally. And I am not defined by others' doubts and fears or my own doubts and fears. I take the swords out, right? The Three of Swords is the three swords stuck in our hearts. And now we fly. Now we fly as cranes to new blessings and new purpose and new power. And it brings us to the Four of Water. It brings us to a gift coming in that might not feel like a gift. When you first hear whales singing, you think, what the heck is that? It's the oddest sound. And yet it's so beautiful. And that's going to be what this gift is like. It's going to be like hearing whales sing for the first time. Odd, but profoundly beautiful and moving. And it's going to move us in a way that we didn't expect, and it leads us to what we love, to discovering the love within our hearts, discovering the power of walking a different path than others have expected, or than maybe we have expected from ourselves. It's looking at different points of view, different ways of seeing things. It's embracing our hearts and our souls and ourselves with openness and honesty. And as we do so, as we embrace the lovers, as we say, I'm falling in love with my life again. I am opening my heart to love, to beauty. It helps us with our intuitive power because so often when we open up the gates of our intuition and we lead ourselves forward, everything gets amplified. The emotions around us get amplified. The vibrational energy of the world gets amplified. And we can get so hit off track if we don't have love as our center, if we don't have love to guide us forward. So this is going to be very important because it leads us to the Five of Cups. If we have love at our center, and it doesn't mean that we have to have somebody that we love, it means that we are falling in love with our lives, we are falling in love with our purpose, we are seeing ourselves more clearly, more openly, more honestly. It leads us to the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups says, change your mind and change your life. So often we spend our whole lives looking at what we're not, looking at the things that have tumbled over, the things that will never be, and we don't look at who we are. We don't look at the blessings of who we are, or the passion of who we are, or what specialness we have to offer to the table, what uniqueness carries us forward. We underplay it, or we doubt it, or we don't see it. And now is the time that we see the healing, beautiful love that is a part of us. We see the unity that guides us forward. And it brings us to the public arena. It brings us to this place of celebration. It's like, this is me. This is my desire. This is my want. This is my joy. This is my beauty. I get to celebrate me. I get to embrace me. I get to move forward in the power that is me, and nothing gets to hold me back. This is a time where we have to be confident within ourselves. Be confident within our own competence. And understand that there's more to us than meets the eye. We're also going to really be looking at a lot of self-sabotaging during this time, Scorpio, that holds us back, that keeps us from really connecting intuitively to the place that we want to be, because we're letting other people's voices, other people's works come before our own. So this is a time where we might say, okay, I need to do X, Y, Z, and then I can reward myself with whatever it is that I have done correctly or whatever it is that I have done that I needed to get done in order to move forward, in order to get to the place that I want to be. So this is just saying, be very mindful of distractions during this time, because our intuitive ability can get to be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming to check in all the time with this intuitive self, with this power, with this insight, with these ideas that come forward and that are so intense. And we'll think, okay, well, I'm just going to take a little bit of a time out, or, oh, okay, I'm just going to stop this for a little bit. But Spirit is saying that as we connect, not as we are overwhelmed, but as we connect, we see things so much more powerfully. We see ourselves so much more powerfully, and we're able to celebrate our progression forward. So do be mindful of that. It leads us to temperance. It leads us to balance. It leads us to balance of work and play. It leads us to the balance of the expected and the unexpected. It leads us to the balance of the spiritual and the waking world. And it leads us to the balance of ourselves. And it says, how do we move forward? What do we love and what do we want? And who are we? What do we celebrate within ourselves and what don't we? And so when we find temperance, when we find the balance within us, we see ourselves in multifaceted different ways. But we also dive deeper into what we need and what we desire and where it is that we need to be at this time. As we embrace our intuition, as we embrace this guidance forward that seems overwhelmingly perfect at times. So do be mindful of that. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of during this time is the King of Wands. Fire and determination, focus and power. We need to be mindful of not relying too heavily on our intuitive power. Not thinking that it's going to be like a superpower that we can just kind of use to get to where we want to be. Yes, we can, but we need to step back within the fire of it. Because there's something here where we're going to be, that's why we're told with temperance that we need this balance. We're going to be very driven to extremes during this time. And we're going to be very driven to thinking, if I just push this further and further and further, if I just push me harder and harder and harder, I will be able to get what I want. And that might be true, but for a lot of us Scorpio, it's just going to shatter us a bit. So take things slow. Be compassionate. We're going to be very, very, very attracted to people whose fire burns really bright, who just say, put more on your plate, put more on your plate, put more on your plate. And that's not going to be beneficial for us. So do be mindful of that. Don't move so slowly that it feels like a snail's pace, but you're not, it's not a sprint. It's not a race that needs to be won. It just isn't. It's a progression forward, and it's an opening up of the mind in a really beautiful way. Our subconscious chakra message is truth, the throat chakra. It is embracing our truth. It is speaking our truth. It is moving forward in what is true for us and what we desire. And it's saying, as I claim my truth as I see it, I open up my world as I never expected it. And this guides me to a place of more power, of more purpose, of greater brilliance. It moves us then to our subconscious rooted self. And that's the sun. Let the sun shine within you. Let the beauty and the blessing and the power and the brilliance shine. Let yourself be more than you expected you could ever be. And do not let others take you by eyes, because they are jealous of the radiance within you. They have their path and you have yours. Let yourself embrace your beauty and your power and your excellence. The subconscious inner self is the 9 of earth, the 9 of pentacles, claiming beauty as we move forward, prosperity and success and bounty, coming together as the pack, a leader, yes, but also a unit that works together. And that is what our connection with Spirit is. It is the power that leads us forward, but it is the insight into the tremendous complexity of our world that guides us like a pack to where we need to be, to what we're here for, giving us purpose, giving us focus, giving us clarity. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self. And that's the King of Cups. That's us. We are represented by the cups in the minor arcana. We are represented by the death card in the major arcana. And as we embrace the King of Cups, who is my favorite king, because he knows this one rule so well, that I only rule my own life. I cannot make people do anything. You've seen people when, like the defiance of a child, where you say, you will do this, and they don't. You can force them. You can get so mad at them that they're scared, or, slowly over time they realize that by doing the right thing, they have benefits that pay off for them in a positive way. But you can't just force a person to do what is not right for them, that goes against who they are, or, or denies them in some way. It breaks them. It breaks us. And so here with the King of Cups, we realize the only person I rule within my life is me. And I will rule as an example, a shining bright. Yes, people might be like, oh my gosh, Scorpio, you're just so darn wonderful. I get it. Let them be jealous like that. But do not move away from the crown that you are wearing, from the power and the purpose and the beauty that is and will forever be the King of Cups, will forever be you. With dignity and purpose and power to say that I rule my life and I will live it as best as I can, to the highest of my abilities. It leads us to our subconscious public arena, and that's the devil, Capricorn energy. Be very mindful of addictions here, but also be very mindful of traps set by others to try and take away the ferocity of our lives. Life is about chaos. There is a uncontrollable element to existence that, we might like to get rid of, but we just can't. This is being very mindful of falling into patterns or habits that are just easier for us, easier coping mechanisms. But this is a time where we need to see ourselves with openness and honesty and say, I embrace the bit of chaos, but I'm not falling into it. I embrace my purpose, my understanding, but also my ferocity, and I'm not falling into the traps of others. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we take flight towards the profoundly unexpected. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio.